Doyle will do the serve-receive work, and Keegan Cook, primary defender. It's Ewert who's got a cannon of a serve to get us started, and we pick up right where we left off Saturday night with the service error.
Uh-oh, how many? Was it a record that night?
It was a lot. I've tried to block it out.
You're having flashbacks now.
We'll go ahead and grab that number just to make good on it. 1-0 Long Beach State in the Road Blacks with the gold accents. About an hour 45 minutes north of La Jolla. And Doty's serve is into the net, one apiece.
Probably one of the best first names I've ever heard from a kid from Colorado, Island. That's kind of original.
Island Doty out of Colorado Springs and Doherty High School stepping into a big spot starting at setter today. And make it 3 service errors to start.
Varga's gonna make his serve. He better. Ace leader for his team. Potential AVC player of the year. No pressure, kid. Just make your serve.
First team All-American last year. Lands this one, and we are in business. Back row look, and it's put away by Leo Provednikov.
I feel like this is going to be a true test tonight of UCSD's passing at first contact. Going against a huge serving team like Long Beach State, they're really going to need to pass well to be in this match.
Beach leading the nation in ace average at 2.5. And that's a point for UC San Diego. Varga trying to go from the back row, but stepped on the line.
Oh, missed that one. Looked good to me. Glad I'm not reffing.
It's an incredibly fast-paced sport. As they'll try it one more time, and it's shot wide. Point for UC San Diego. 4-2, Triton's over the Beach. So when you're going down the depth chart to your second setter, what's the big point of a concern from an attacking standpoint making that change?
Well, it's interesting because I talked to Coach McRae before the match, and he said he had no concerns with him. Island has been with him for 4 years. They train together. It's just a sub in and out, and he empowers Island to, when they're in system, you can be creative, make it your own. But when you're out of system, you better do what I say.
And a savvy play there by John Lewers, going up and using the block for the Triton setter. First-year transfer from Lincoln Memorial, where he was an honorable mention All-American last year. 24th nationally, just over 9 assists per set on the season. And it's Lewers back to serve with a 5-3 Triton lead.
And he plays so much bigger than he is. Art of a lion, that guy.
Serve goes down the line, right into the Triton block. Lewers covers, Ewert sends it over. Good opportunity here for the Beach. Quick attack, and it goes down for Hrstinovich. Saw Brad Rostratter a moment ago. Here's a look at Nick McRae taking over after Alan Knipe retired. 13 seasons on staff, including 8 as associate head coach.
Filling in the shoes of his greatest mentor, he said, in Alan Knipe.
And born and raised in Long Beach, a Wilson High product who started his NCAA career at Long Beach City College before joining up with the 49ers at the time, now the Beach.
Love that. All of Long Beach's coaching staff has all played at Long Beach, too.
Hammer of a serve handled well by Varga. And this one stuck into the Triton block as Hrstinovich, an honorable mention All-American from last season, has another kill.
He is the go-to opposite right now for the Beach.
5-1 away from home this season, won both matches against CSUN last week. They'll go off speed, and the Tritons respond with a first ball side out from Peter Selcho.
Great pass by Boyle. Great connection set to Selcho in the middle. Splits the block.
Redshirt senior middle at 6'5", 200 pounds from Servite High School in Fountain Valley. 7 kills across 2 matches last week. Couple losses against UC Irvine for the Tritons. They're 11-9, 2-3 in the Big West, 5th out of 6. 7-3 here at home. It was a competitive sweep on Friday in Irvine, and then a marathon 5-setter Saturday here in La Jolla.
A marathon, that was.
Jackson Christ nails down an ace. And this is a group that, well, they've got the top end, but they've also got a handful of different student athletes that can cause problems for you. 1, 2, 3, and 4 in ace average in the Big West this season. Varga's #1, Alex Kandev is 2, Wojciech Gajek is 3, and Chris, who goes for an ace and an error there, sitting in at #4.
Yeah, very tough serving team.
8-7 Triton lead opening set. Josh Ewert off the tape, up by Kellen Larson, and off the Triton block and out for a Long Beach State point to knot us up at 8.
Off the dome of Jim Garrison there.
Serving numbers pop off the page. So does the hitting percentage for this group. .359 for the Beach. 5th in the country, 2nd in the Big West. And that serve goes long, so it's point for UC San Diego. Giants, for their part, hitting .310. 13th out of 74 teams across the country, 5th in the Big West. 19th in kills per set, 11th in aces per set, or assists per set rather. In fact, that's the same mark that they have for both of those, so it works either way. Tritons up 9-8, and it's Ewert right into the block. And a point for UC San Diego.
And that's a great serve by Leo there, right in between two passers, between Larson and Varga on that one. Great placement serve.
Tritons with a 2-point lead. Herstinovich setting out a system. They try and push it off the block. Provednikov up from the back row. Sani taps it over and gets a kill for UC San Diego, his first against his former team.
Sani kind of knows what's going on the other side of the net. A little bit of intel from his experience last year. Nice soft shot over the block. Great little tip. Nice set by Provednikov on that one.
He's provided some good service on a 3-0 run, and that's off the antenna. 4-0 run for UC San Diego. That's an attacking error on Long Beach State, Kirsten, but on the other side, the Tritons 5 kills, 6 attempts, and no errors to start.
Yeah, they're playing some good, clean volleyball right now. Taking care of the ball on their side.
Service pressure, a big part of that from Provednikov. He lands another good one here. And the Beach almost able to stop the rally, but that time Cook went completely under the net. Tried to circle around the referee's ladder, and now John Lewis and some of the Tritons over to chat about it.
That was a really excellent effort by Keegan Cook there. Let's see. Just absolutely lays out for this ball. Just a little bit too close to the actual playing court. He thinks he was off of the court. He was sliding off of the court. He's still on it a little bit.
And angling that way, but ultimately got totally across that line. So point for Long Beach State. Heck of an effort though, as Lewis gets a little closer to the table. Sani into the triple block, and Lewis will set it over. Chance for the Beach, up by Ewert. Bump set Lewis for Sani. Into the triple block, and this time they put it away. And a little waggle of the tongue from Ben Braun on the other side.
That's a mighty big Long Beach block. They knew it was going to Sani, so well-formed 3-person block on that one.
That's 6-7, 6-9, 6-11 on the triple block.
There's really no way through.
And a footfall on the serve, so a point for UC San Diego. That block is the best in the Big West and 4th best in the country. 2.6 blocks per set. Size everywhere along the front line for Long Beach State as Jim Garrison serves it up for the Tritons. Now this time it's the Triton block. Back to work after a good effort on that end on Saturday night.
And that's some great timing at the net by Lures and Selcho on that one. Clamping that ball on Kandev. Great move, close to the net. That was all Lures. Nice job.
12.5 blocks, a season high against the Anteaters on Saturday. Tight block sends it back again, but this one all the way across and out, and a kill for Hershchinovich.
Hershchinovich going high and hard off the block on that one. He's already got 3 kills.
Five-set win in Northridge last week, a Saturday sweep of the Matadors in Long Beach for this group coming in. And Sani with an answer for UC San Diego, and the Tritons maintaining a 4-point edge at the media timeout. Nice start for UC San Diego, up 15-11 in the first set.
It was, especially to watch him behind the service line. I just talked about his ace record that he did as a freshman. I think it was 100 and something aces. Pretty impressive.
106 for Nikolov last year. The group won the Big West regular season championship and 9 out of 10 sets on their way to the national title. Back to action here. Beach trying to dig into a 4-point deficit. And a tap over by Selcho, nicely covered. Once again into the Triton block, and it's Kandev who gets on the board.
Really like the aggressiveness and patience of the Triton offense right now. Hitting 500 right now. Usually I feel like they start off with a couple of hitting errors. They're really locked in right now. Only 1 hitting error.
Hershchinovich, All-American, All Big West last season. Tritons getting into system, and Josh Ewert terminates.
And that's a great fast set by Lures. So Josh Ewert is able to get that kind of isolation there. Fast set, is able to beat the block. Nobody touched that.
7 kills for the Tritons on Friday. Good efficient line for him there. 7-0-11 against UC Irvine, and he's gotten back into the Triton lineup. Put down out of the middle, there is Jackson Christ.
Jackson Christ, dad Jeff Christ, also a Long Beach State alum, volleyball player.
It's a litany of family connections within this program. You find that out pretty quickly when you start to get ready for a Long Beach State match.
Yeah, especially when you find out some of them are your old friends too. Crazy.
Who are some of the people you go back with on the beach?
The list is endless.
Yeah.
But remember Jeff Christ, a lot of the Long Beach State guys from their time playing, and now their kids are playing, which is pretty amazing.
And here in San Diego, Brent Hilliard, the coach of San Diego State women's volleyball. Won a natty with the Beach back in the day. And they won't be able to rescue this one. It's another Triton point. Make it 18-13 here in the first set. And Long Beach State will take timeout. Well, Triton's grabbing some early separation, hitting 500 on the nose to this point. I talked about Long Beach State and Alan Knipe, who retired after 22 seasons as head coach. Won 3 national titles with the program as a head coach. One more as a player going back to 1991. And simply one of the best to ever do it as a player and a coach. Well-deserved Hall of Fame accolades by a number of organizations for Coach Knipe.
Absolutely. He is a Long Beach legend for sure.
And talk about the legacy that he's leaving. Aiden Knipe, who was a 3-time All-American setter playing for his dad, is now on staff as Director of Player Development for Long Beach State. That's pretty cool to see for one of the more decorated programs, and these guys have been the best of the best in the nation for last decade plus. 3 national titles inside of the last 10 years. Last season, back-to-back in 2018 and 2019. They've been to 7 Final Fours, one of the standards across the country coming out of Long Beach.
Well, it just shows what a great program it is if they're coming back after playing and wanting to coach as well. It's a great house that Alan Knipe has built, for sure.
And McKay Smith has been on staff a long time. Amir Lugo Rodriguez and Matt Prosser, the assistant coaches as well for Long Beach State. Tritons introduce Aiden Powell. Came over from JUCO Golden West College. He redshirted at Long Beach State a couple years ago. His serve goes long, and Powell just in for that responsibility. Selcho back in for the Tritons. 4-point lead in the first set, back to Jackson Christ, an in-city product out of Sage Hill High School. Big run up in the highlighter colored kicks tonight. And there's Tritons once again, that efficiency out of the middle. Jim Garrison hitting .455 against UC Irvine in the first matchup last week, then .444.
He has just figured it out so much this year. He is now a force in the middle. He was before, but just hitting so well this year.
Had a .583 clip for Brad Rostratter's Tritons. Off the block, stays on Long Beach State side. He'll bump set it back that way to Varga. Covered by Braun. Varga one more time. This time cuts the angle. It was called wide. He's asking for a challenge. I thought it landed in live.
Wow, that was very sharp.
You get an appreciation for that being right down the chute from it.
Yeah.
That was about 4 feet off to our right. Maybe a little more than that. But
I'd love to see that one again because I blinked and practically missed it.
So they will go ahead and call for a review. Daniel Willis, the up ref. Patsy Malta, the down ref, as we check in on this one once again.
Ooh, that's close.
And on the lines, Rob Reyes and John Park. Reyes making the call off to our right side as Patsy Malta has a look. You get 3 challenges per match. And you only lose them if you're unsuccessful, 3 through 4 sets. And that looks in.
Looks in.
That thought it was square on the line live.
Yep. I think that's on the line.
And again, they're taking a look at in-house camera system, different from the views that we'll show you. Oh no, it is the same angles. Check that.
They can zoom in though, right?
And got the ability to zoom in. They've got multiple ones that they can pick through. So if I had to guess, I would say this one's going to be overturned. You need that clear evidence that the ball landed in and on the line. And I think they've got it from what we were able to show you there. So if that's the case, it will be Long Beach State getting back within 4 points. All right, review is all sorted. Ball is in, and it's a point for Long Beach State.
Yeah, I am not surprised. At least we're 1 for 1 right now, right? Yes.
That's pretty good. Tritons, for their part, they ran the gamut of their challenges against UC Irvine on Saturday. Started 0 for 3. There was a play late where some of the guys had gone over to Brad Rostratter, said to challenge it. He said, I don't have one. We used them all up. Tritons with the answer, and it's Leo Provednikov.
And I like that aggressive swing from Leo. Big block in his face, goes high and hard and off the top of that block.
2 kills for Provednikov, 2 for Ewert, 2 for Sani. The Tritons hitting .571.
Very impressive start for the Tritons.
Only 1 attacking error on 14 attempts with 9 kills. Press the 5-point advantage and a kill out of the middle from the 6'11" Ben Braun.
Huge presence in the middle, nice little gap set. You have to set him higher because he's 6'11". That's a nice 1.5 for him.
Varga off the tape. Tritons do well to rescue it. A look out of the back row, saved by a chicken wing. And now Sani shoots it long.
Sani going for that area one. Just missed it. Good heads-up play at the net by Leo Provednikov, though.
Great save flying forward as well by the La Crescenta native Evan Boyle. This one more standard for Boyle. Tritons turn it around and Jim Garrison comes through.
Garrison, just give him the ball as much as possible. Been mishit that one a little bit, but a little bit mishandled by Doty over there.
Redshirt senior out of Manhattan Beach and Miracosta High School. Ellen Corks an ace.
Love that hybrid jump serve that he's been working on. Proved to be effective.
22-17 and timeout number 2 for Long Beach State. So the Tritons with some good separation here, and what you like from UC San Diego's standpoint is they were able to get some of that separation early, kind of midway through the set. Pulled ahead 15-11.
Yeah, what I like is the limited hitting errors. They're not going for things that are too impossible. They're playing good, safe volleyball, taking advantage of opportunities when Long Beach State gives it to them, but just taking care of the ball and really working on that first contact. Passing well and looking at the other side of the net and seeing what's available, using that block.
Yeah, and for UC San Diego, you talk about the hitting errors, and they committed a season-high 28 of them. To go with 29 service errors, their second most in a single match this year, and still managed to take a really good team to 5 sets. So you up some of that efficiency.
Yep.
They had some good momentum, just needed a few more plays at the end, just needed to play a little bit cleaner, and they're doing it here to start the first set tonight.
Yeah, if you look at that Irvine match, I looked at the stats after the match, and they should have won that one. It was just a side-out battle at the end of the match. But if you cannot give your opponent errors, that is definitely a good thing.
Off a Triton touch and another kill for Hrstinovic, who gets up to 5 on 8 swings. An assist, a dig, and a block. He's got a good, well-rounded line in this opening set. And they'll bring in Connor Bloom, the senior out of Huntington Beach and Orange Lutheran High School. 43rd set of the season for Bloom. Serving in a big spot late. Help from the net. Sani from the knees, and Provednikov terminates from the back row.
Provednikov has really been honing in on that Bick. He's given plenty of runway and really teased off on that one. Beating that Long Beach block.
Like Nick McCray, the head coach of the Beach, Provednikov, a product of Long Beach Wilson High School. This one well low from John Lewers. It's back to the Beach, and they're running out of time to try and make this closing run in the opening set. Aces errors even, 1 and 6 for both teams so far. Hrstinovic out of Toronto, Ontario, north of the border. Sani with the first touch. Lewers goes back to him, and Sani works it off the block. Set point Tritons.
Sani doing such a great job passing as well, something that's unspoken, but tees off on the top of that block as well.
And Sani will serve set point. High toss and pulls it wide. So first of 5 in a row needed for Long Beach State, third-ranked team in the country. Trying to extend this opening set. And it's Kandev, first team all Big West last year. Goes off speed, Lures, Sani into the net.
Going for extreme angle on that one. I feel like, let's see. Yep, really wanted to hit that area 4.
Had the right idea in terms of where the block was set up, but well over the top of it for UC San Diego. Kandev with a hammer and an ace. Second of the set for the team leading the country in aces per set. And a big one to force a Triton timeout.
That's a great serve by Kandev to area one, just outside of the reach of Sani on that one.
Second in the conference and fourth in the country in ace average goes Kandev. Varga, the leader in the Big West, and third in the NCAA in ace average so far this season. And Long Beach State using that service as a scoring weapon. Crawling back here in this opening set. That was one of the things we saw on Saturday. Just when you thought you knew how things were going to go, say a single one-sided set, it was back and forth the entire night. Now, it hasn't really been back and forth until this point as the Beach finally claw back within two.
Well, this is key for the Tritons. They can't be up on the national champs and then let them creep back in. They have to finish. They really have to side out right here, literally.
Last time it was this close, 12-10 UC San Diego. So trying to break up some of the service rhythm of Kandev. Just logged his 31st ace of the season. Another good one, and another ace for Kandev.
And that's what he can do. That's why you can't let the national champs back into this. You've got to finish them in this first set.
All the way back within one now. Decides to change the speeds. Tritons with Provednikov, great coverage from the back row. Little off the net into three Triton blockers. Lures setting Provednikov. Stays with UC San Diego. Back to Provednikov. Soloed up off the block of Doty, and the Tritons hang on to take set one.
Love the patience of Provednikov on that one.
And Nick McCrae is talking about something here. As you get a look at some of the scenics and the vibes from this opening set.
There's a challenge. Okay.
So we'll see a challenge here from Long Beach State. Already successful on the first one. That cut shot that came over in our direction.
Yeah, and I think the challenge is, did the ball go off of Provednikov on the way out?
So John Lures over to get an explanation from Daniel Willis as to what's being looked at. So keeping an eye on Provednikov after the block.
It hit him on the way out is the question.
I thought looking at it live that it didn't necessarily look close. That's why when everybody was getting together and they were thinking about a challenge, now it's obviously a high leverage situation, so a good time to deploy one when you still have three remaining. And granted, we had probably the best angle of almost anybody here. Provednikov was right in front of us, firing that swing off the block. So Patsy Malta checks it out.
I don't think there was a touch.
That ball's crossing over his face there, so a little tougher to tell from that angle. Nothing that we've seen, nor I think what either of us saw live would make us think this is going to be overturned. You can try and stay confident with a pre-call, 1-for-1 so far. But let's see what comes of this. It's a point for the Tritons. They'll hang on to the opening set after the unsuccessful challenge. 25-23, Tritons in the first. They hit 435, led by Provednikov's 7 kills. We'll step aside, come back for the second on ESPN+. And for UC San Diego and Alex Kandev, who will get it started here in the second.
He definitely went on a serving run at the end of that last set.
Yeah, good one to have starting it off for sure. Tritons with Garrison out of the middle. Kandev able to save it. Float this one, dug by Boyle. Provednikov picks out Hrstinovic. And once again, foot on the line. Second time that's happened for Long Beach State tonight. This time it's Kandev.
Yeah, just some mental errors by Long Beach State. Yep, definitely foot on the line by Kandev.
Got to be completely behind the line, taken off. It's Josh Ewert on serve. Tritons up 1-0. Thing put right on the net. They'll set it over deep. Quick transition for the Tritons to Provednikov. And now back to Garrison. Back to Sani. Good up Kandev. Each try one from the back row. Sani keeps it alive. Might have been going long. Ewert fires. One-handed dig. Nice up by Larson. And the joust. Won by the Beach at first. But the Tritons stay on it and take the point.
Wow. Some nice patience volleyball by Leo Provednikov there. Kellen Larson running off the court. The joust. Looks like Luers was able to get that up, and Provednikov tips it over.
Oh, that volleyball was heading south in a hurry.
Yeah, it was
off the hands of Skylar Varga. Looked for sure like a beach point. That's some high-level hustle and save from UC San Diego.
That's a great serve by Ewert. Wow.
Keeps Ewert on serve, but the Beach with the response. This one ends up in the stands from the All-American Varga.
Varga teeing off on that one, just out of the control of Sani.
Out of Munster, Saskatchewan, another Canadian international for Long Beach State. And puts Jackson Christ on serve. Christ looking to put some pressure on. Provednikov keeps it alive, and Ewert rolls it wide.
Such a good hustle by Provednikov on that one.
Two apiece to start the second set. Tritons winning the first 25-23. Chris tees off. Boyle handles it, and Ewert rolls it over. Beach out of system, straight over the triple block. Long run for Luers to save it. Back to Ewert, puts a good swing on it, and the Beach able to rescue it. Bumped over by Hrstinovic. Provednikov cuts the angle and gets the kill.
Leo is on fire right now. It's 5 kills, no errors for Provednikov. Such a great 4-4 right there.
2.6 kills per set, a .259 hitter for the year. Hit 0 on the nose and .222 against UC Irvine last week. And the Tritons win another battle after a joust. Then they lead it 4-2.
Whoever presses last usually wins that one, and that was a great press by both Garrison and Sani, I think, on that.
So tempting to do, to want to get it right away. And you're having to unpack that little chess match in a matter of a split second, if that. Luers for Sani. Holds on to it for a little longer. Free ball back over by the Beach, and nice up by Kandev on the back row. Triton block covers. Nice one-handed up there from Kandev. And they'll have to set it over. Sani cross court and out. Ducked under by Larson, and we are seeing some long rallies here to start the second.
If there's one thing that Long Beach State is scrappy and will go and can go the extra mile, can go the full 5 sets, so a lot of hustle.
Team's coming out fired up and with some purpose here in the second as that one misses well low. I feel like 3 of those long rallies that we've seen as long, if not longer, than anything we saw in the first set.
I agree. I think that was almost a set in itself.
8 points in, Tritons up 5-4 after the Garrison service error. Long Beach State team that lost 2 against Hawaii, swept CSUN to get to 2-2. Their Big West journey so far. And Sani has it sent right back into him. And we're tied at 5.
Yeah, that is a tough play. They're very well-formed block on that one.
And ready to react when they saw what Seba had cooked up. 5 apiece service from Varga. Picking out Ewert, smashes it home. There's no defense for that.
And a great quick set by Lures, able to get him that isolation. Just outside of the arms of Kandev. Got to take care of that line.
3rd kill for Ewert. Went back and forth with Luke Chandler at different points this year, but it's Ewert who's got his spot back. A little bit off the net. Triton block there to get it. Sani will hang on to it, set it for the Tritons. And nice off speed from the back row. Leo Preventnik up.
I had a chance to talk to Jorge Collazo before the match about that changeup between Chandler and Ewert is just bringing a lot of fire right now behind the service line and really able to adjust to offsets as well, just showing what an offensive presence he is.
And in this gauntlet run, UC Irvine, Long Beach State, Hawaii, the top end of what Ewert can bring you is a major weapon if you can get it going for the Tritons. And there's a point for Long Beach State, and Hrstinovich, who gets up to 6 kills now.
And Hrstinovich just absolutely demolishing that line right there.
And Ewert's got the answer. He's got another one for UC San Diego.
And let's also give some kudos to John Lures as well, who is able to get that ball to Ewert quickly. So, and also great passing.
Lures 30 assists in a 3-setter on Friday, 46 assists in a 5-setter Saturday against UC Irvine. Serve too long from Sani, 8-7 UC San Diego. And Hrstinovich back to serve. They've taken 35 swings so far, 15 for Varga, who's hitting negative. Hrstinovich is on a 6-0-10 line to this point. It's a good hop off the net. Ewert once again. Beach block got a good chunk of that. Selcho sends that back row effort back. Try for the D ball, and that's off the block and out. Point for Long Beach State, and another kill for Hrstinovich.
Yeah, and that's a smart set by Doty going against the flow, finding Hrstinovich on that.
Had trouble with his efficiency on Friday in the 5-set battle. Hit .563 on Saturday. An efficient start once again tonight. 8 apiece. Kandev rolls it high over the Triton coverage, and the block takes a big bite out of that back row look, and Long Beach State and Chris are fired up.
Chris was all over that. He saw that one coming. Huge block. Just a freshman, too.
Used to seeing some very talented freshmen come through this program. Off the joust, one-handed cover, Varga. And a back set, and the Triton block takes care of that look.
Nice job by Ewert and Selcho. Fully formed block there, saw it going. Reach and penetrate.
Now Ewert, 4 kills, 3 digs, now a block for UC San Diego. Sets up Selcho on service. Turn around and put away. Thing of beauty from Alex Kandev.
His ability to adjust is pretty impressive. Just go sharper.
Hails from the Bulgarian capital, Sofia. 2.5 kills a set on .288 hitting this year, and that service went underneath the net.
Ouch.
Got to have a short memory to be good at any high level of athletics, and he'll have to deploy that here.
We said too many nice things about him. Oh.
And Ebert's saying, hey man, it happens to all of us. We're all going through it right now.
Yep. Service errors. 10 for UCSD, 8 Long Beach State. It is just part of the game, folks.
Yeah, 18 total against 4 aces. I'll land this one. Long Beach State by 1 in the second set. Doty puts it up, and Varga's effort rejected again, and UC San Diego is doing a tremendous job on one of the country's best attackers so far.
And just a great block by Garrison. Oh, that was all Lures on that one. Just reaching in, grabbing that angle.
Even up at 11. Provednikov goes and gets it up into the rafters, doesn't touch anything. So play on here. With a sky-high free ball, that one is wide, and UC San Diego hustles its way to a 12-point.
Really like the ball control from the Tritons tonight, just really taking care of that first ball contact. And I know that's something that they've been working on.
Cross court now, and another point for UC San Diego. 4 kills, 6 errors, 21 swings. Here in the second, it's a 3-0 Triton run, and Long Beach deliver. And he's helping the Tritons get off to a good start tonight. Numbers aren't great in terms of his efficiency in this one. 3 kills, 6 errors on 14 swings. He's got 3 digs and a block. But the Tritons right now on a 3-0 run, leading the second set 13-11. Beach trying to get back into some attacking rhythm, hitting negative this set. Sani this time wins the joust.
Gotta love that one after losing one of those earlier. Being patient at the net.
Now 4 straight points for UC San Diego, creating a little bit of distance in the second set, and we haven't seen much of it to this point. Couple members of the Beach laying out. Shot goes into the Triton block. Provednikov turns it around, forces an overpass. Lures for Garrison, lightning quick for the kill.
What great volleyball by the Tritons. A great up free ball by Ewert, and Garrison to put away it quick.
Shoots it back against the momentum of that block. Nice connection with those two. And a big-time hammer. Hershtinovich still cooking. 8 kills, 13 swings, and no errors.
Yeah, he's unstoppable right now. They need to get him the ball as much as possible.
Gonna keep him going. They've got Varga, who has yet to get going, and they're without their starting setter, Jake Pizzanti, tonight. Redshirt freshman putting together a good season as the setup man for the Beach. Lures back sets, Ewert. Handled by Long Beach State, and look at that. Oh, what a play on the setup. Kandev setting Hershtinovich.
That's a tricky play. Kandev looking like he's gonna hit, draws the block. And Hershtinovich has nobody up.
That is as wide open as you're ever going to get on a volleyball court. Great disguise and creativity out of system for the Beach. Sani into the block, covered by Lures. Tritons out of system with Boyle bump setting. Up by Larson. He'll try the right pin. Tritons send it back on the look by Hershtinovich. And a free ball by Varga. Sani into the block. How about that coverage? Tritons stay in the point. Nice, ISO up, still rescued by UC San Diego. Couple of world-class saves. And this time it's off the block and out. Hershtinovich would not be denied, but some great floor coverage from the Tritons.
Great hustle by the Tritons. What an up by Ewart on that one. And a nice quick back set to Hershtinovich. Go off of Sani's block on that.
So 15-14 UC San Diego, a 3-0 run for Long Beach State. Tritons call timeout. And Nick McCray carrying on the legacy of this well-decorated program. He was a key part in the recruiting and development of Moni Nikolov a year ago. When he's been on staff for this group, they've had 4 National Players of the Year and some names that you know. Alex Nikolov as well, TJ DeFalco, Josh Tuaniga, 47 All-Americans. He's had some involvement with the national team as well, and a 2-time National Collegiate Assistant Coach of the Year, keeping things in the family for their new head coach.
Yeah, and filling the shoes of Alan Knight, pretty big shoes to fill. And he even said before the match they have not played their best volleyball yet, and he wants them to focus on problem solving, one game at a time. You know, said people made a big deal that they went, you know, a couple extra sets with CSUN, but they are learning as they go in.
Good crowd here tonight for a regional matchup. Again, about an hour 45, 2-hour drive, depending on when you leave, separating these two programs. Always nice to see. And there you see some of the best shirts you could ever hope to buy as a fan or as a family member of one of these student athletes. A national title for Long Beach State last year. And they've turned things around nicely here in the second set. 3-0 run after falling behind 15-11. We've got the Tritons down to 0-97 hitting. Beach 0-36. Big part of that has been some of the coverage, and more than a few times, volleyballs that you expected to land that were kept alive. Quick look for Garrison. Beach handling it nicely. Try and push one down the line. Now Sani off the block. There's a point for the Tritons as Sani gets his 5th kill.
Smart hit by Sani, using the block on that.
And 11 kills for the Tritons on Friday, 19 on Saturday to match his career high against UC Irvine. And Brad Rostratter of UC San Diego led this team to 18 wins a season ago, most in the D2, D1 era, finished the year ranked number 10. They continue to be on the up and up. And these matches are always going to be your measuring stick. Block returns that look, draws some ooze from the crowd. Now a lefty look that time from Hershtinovich. Tritons able to stay in it. Now not able to return this one from Ben Braun. 554 hitter for the year.
And that's a nice feed by Doty on that one. Getting the ball to his big middle.
The Ohio State transfer in his senior campaign out of Rancho Mirage. Service from Skylar Varga. Ewart adjusting the route and still gets the kill.
And that is why you want Josh Ewart in as your opposite. Such a great physical player, able to adjust on the fly, step close, not hit the perfect set, and able to get a kill out of it.
It's the big arm that's going to wow you with Ewart, but what's really gets lost in a lot of these high-level highlights is his understanding of the game.
Yes.
Very high volleyball IQ. As Brad Rostratter says, he's best player in the gym and in most gyms when, from talking to him earlier in the year, hitting the big out of the back row. A lot more of the D ball as of late. Tritons somehow save it. And off the block in a UC San Diego. Heck of an effort, and it hit the antenna as well. But let's take another look at this first.
What an up. Full team effort there. It looked like ball went off of Sani, and then, I don't know, I need to look at that again. It happened really fast.
Some contact off the antenna, just a question of who did it hit last prior to catching the stick. Leo Provednikov in that save. He coiled his arm and kind of had to cock back to swoop under the volleyball.
That was a scorpion move.
Is that an official term or something
no,
that you just...
it's a scorpion.
That's what that's called?
Yeah.
I've not seen one of those live.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
So it looks like the ball, I don't know, it's moving.
Definitely hits the antenna. I think the ball gets the antenna first before any contact from the other side. But it happened very quick. There's always those subtle changes in direction.
Okay, so hitting, it looks like Sani's hand is on the antenna, so can't do that either.
Well, the other thing you look at there is you're trying to figure out what hit it first.
Yeah,
the way the antenna moves in. If it was the volleyball hitting it, it's more than likely going out. If it's Sani touching it with the hand, it's more than likely moving in, which is what Kirsten just described there.
Let's see.
See what we got.
I'm indifferent on this one. I'm not sure.
I'm going to say point Tritons. No. And a point for Long Beach State. Thumbs up by Brad Rostrader.
Yeah.
Big one, too, that takes a 3-point set into a 1-point set. Yeah, the timing of that one was interesting because when you saw it live, I kind of froze.
Yeah, well, it seems like, if he wasn't up, it would be different. But.
So the Beach back within 1. Trailing for a good chunk of the second. Hustled down by the setter, Doty. Ewert pops it over, coverage falling back. Savvy shot for Josh Ewert. Holsters the hands, and the Tritons back up 2.
And he definitely disguised it well. Looked like he was going hard, and a little soft shot over the block.
And you can hit the ball as hard as Ewert can. Those disguises will go that much further for you. Sani back into serve for UC San Diego. The one thing that Brad Rostrader told us early part of the season about Sani that's stuck throughout the course of the year, he said Long Beach State, he was one of the guys last year. We brought him here to be the guy.
Yeah.
And it's a football on the serve.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on him tonight. Playing against your bros that you won a national championship with. Now you're on another team. Trying to gel with them, and he's definitely playing some of his best volleyball at the end of the season.
Yeah, no matter what within your student athlete experience, like you make friends and you make bonds that last a long time, but it's just another level when you get to experience the best of the best that so few do.
Yep, yeah, and to win a national championship with a team is a dream experience for every volleyball player.
Hayden Powell back into serve for UC San Diego. Turned around quickly and put away by Long Beach State.
And that's what high-level volleyball that the Beach can play. Super high, super tight, really sharp angles, and really fast.
Chris last week went for a 17-19 line in the 2 wins over CSUN. On his way to earning Big West Freshman of the Week honors. Error gives it back here to UC San Diego. Tritons get to 20. Up 2 in the second set, up 1-0. Josh Ewert out of Moraga, up in Northern California's East Bay and Campo Lindo High School. Another service there, back to Long Beach State, and it'll be Chris to step up. Also closed the sweep over CSUN with a match-ending block. First touch from Sani. They'll go back to him, and Sani's got one this time.
That's a great play with Garrison disguising, going in for the quick. Everybody jumps with him because he's a formidable middle. Sani's able to come in and crush the big.
Hervednikov with the service. And an answer. I said, we'll see your bic and we'll raise you one from Kandev.
Kandev's got so many weapons. Only 2 kills so far, though. 2, 3.
Up to 3. He's got an assist, 2 aces, 7 digs, and 3 blocks. Service here from the setter, Island Doty. That one straight up and down, but out. It's a point and a break for UC San Diego. Long Beach State says no. Hrstinovich is asking them to challenge.
All right, they're going to challenge it.
So still with 2 challenges to work with through 4 sets, and you keep it if you're successful. So you could theoretically keep it going and retain all your challenges.
Ooh, it's a lot closer than I thought.
Now, we like to try and call these things live. I didn't see it very well live. That's a part of the court from our angle. You've got the LED board that flanks the side of the court. And the line at that point is typically washed out in whatever color's coming off the LED at the time. So all that to say, I didn't get a clean look at it.
I didn't either.
Thought from that replay, as you said, Kirsten, that that ball was in.
Yeah, pretty close. Definitely worth a review. Good call by the beach.
Yeah, freeze frame, and I think even you can see on that one, it clearly catches a pretty big part of the line.
I think that's in.
So we'll go and run the gamut of angles, and if that's the case, then that would get us to 21 apiece. And what's been a good and competitive second set to this point. Teams have traded the last 14 points, which we expect to change here if this call is overturned. It's just been tit for tat, pretty steady lead for the Tritons. They built up a 4-point edge on a 5-0 stretch earlier. A lot of video review tonight, and it's a 1 challenge for Long Beach State.
Serving tied at 21.
21-21. Service from Doty. Tritons right close to us. And it's a kill for UC San Diego.
That's 8 kills for Hervednikov with no hitting errors. That's huge for him.
It's hitting 471. Ewart hitting 385 for the Tritons. Garrison putting up a 306 line. Sani hitting negative as we say hello to another Colorado native in Tyler Stewart. Quick in to serve and quick back out after the error. So 22-22, and Skylar Varga, top 20 in the country in hitting percentage for the qualified student athletes this year. Looking to serve it up, and Sani puts it right through the block.
Another great set by Lures. Sani finding a little bit of room in that block.
Big spread from Braun and Hrstinovich. They just about had it closed, but UC San Diego still able to come through.
Yeah, that was a flying close there.
Hands in the area.
Yeah.
Really trying to cut down that gap late. A little bit of emergency work. Hitting percentages down in this second set. It was 261 for the Beach in the first, 135 here in the second. Tritons got out to a 435 start hitting. They are down to 200 hitting in the second. And we'll give you a look at some of the team stats here in the second.
Yeah, impressive by the Tritons right now. Really limiting their hitting errors, service errors, a little bit less than Long Beach State's, but hitting just a little bit better than Long Beach. But Long Beach's block is pretty formidable at the net, so they're having to work around that.
And 2 blocks in the first set, 2 blocks in this second. So much of these matches comes down to what you can establish early and how you get into a rhythm. And I think facing a team that is used to rejecting teams at high rates, but the Tritons hit at that clip in the first set, that will pay dividends as long as this thing goes on.
Right, and those blocks are, you know, block for points, not the kind of touches that Long Beach gets at the net. You know, as we saw in that last play, even when they're not there, they're getting their hands on so many balls at the net. So it really forces John Lures to run that offense quickly, and they're doing a pretty good job by the Tritons so far, moving that ball around.
23 assists tonight for Lures, but the Tritons up 1. And they won't be able to bring this one back off the net. Big answer from Long Beach State, and we're tied at 23. Another Kandev kill.
And it's an interesting connection with Kandev and Sani. Kandev is the outside that beats Sani out for his spot. So a lot of different type of energy on the floor tonight, knowing that you're playing against someone that beat out your spot.
Set that time from Selcho. Beach got a touch to it, and this one is terminated off the Triton block. And Long Beach State is on set point. Timeout, UC San Diego.
Nice set by Varga. Daniil does it again. How many kills for him now?
Leading everybody with 12.
12. No errors.
Like the leading attackers are both putting up some monster lines early. 12 kills, 20 swings, no errors, 600 hitting Hershtinovich. And on the other side, it's Provednikov, 8-0-17, hitting 471. So I think that's one of the interesting pieces so far, even as the 2 guys you would expect to be leading the way in Varga and Sani have struggled to get the efficiency going. It's been Hershtinovich and Provednikov, a couple of pin hitters who have picked up the slack.
Yeah, no, it's they're definitely rising to the occasion. A lot of pressure on Vargas and Sani right now to, you know, get their teams either carry the load, or Vargas right now, big pressure for him to get his team back into this match.
And you look at Island Doty in his senior campaign stepping in, setting in place of Jake Pizzanti tonight. I think a big part of coming into this match for Long Beach State was we got to see how things go early. Who's connecting well, because we don't have our everyday setter in there.
Yeah, and they have a pretty deep bench as well. They've got Goyach as well, who is not available tonight with an injury, but he has been a huge producer for him on the opposite position.
Yeah, so down a couple of key contributors. Polish international. Set point for Long Beach State. Off the block. And a point for the Tritons.
Nice set by Lures on that, and Sani's able to use that block. I'd like to see him produce a little bit more behind the service line.
Chance to do it here. Tough serve, handled nicely by Varga, and a quick answer for Long Beach State. Third kill for Christ. Hershtinovich with 12. Kandev the next most with 4 on the beach. More balance for the Tritons. Provednikov and Sani 8 apiece. Ewert with 6. And Long Beach State back to set point. A little bit off the net. A tap over. Long Beach State hustles to stay in it. Selcho hammers it. Beach able to keep it alive, and they'll push that look wide.
Oh, stressful. What an up, and nice swing by Selcho, but Kellen Larson just did a great job playing defense.
The All-American absorbed the brunt of the blow and gave him a chance. And they'll be back on set point here as Kandev connects one more time.
Kandev definitely steps up in some big moments. See if he can do that right now with his serve.
Made some good adjustments on Saturday to sweep CSUN. He hit 563 in that match. And misses by a couple feet. So Triton's continuing to fight off some set points here. They've fought off 3. Now Josh Ewert. And another one lands just inside the line. They tried to set up some deep coverage against Varga, but he found the floor anyway.
Yeah, such a smart hit by Varga. Taking a little bit off, splitting defenders. I think they were expecting something else from him.
Set point number 4 for Long Beach State now in the second. Chris delivers a haymaker of a serve, and the Tritons extend it again. There's Jim Garrison.
Go to Garrison. Nice job off a serve receive. That's 4 kills for him, no hitting errors.
So Provednikov's turn to serve after the Tritons save a 4th set point. They have yet to be on one here in the second. Touch from Provednikov, back to Ewert. He put that straight into the net.
Ewert trying to go super sharp on that one. Just missed it.
Is the 5th time the charm here for Long Beach State. Doty's serve, overpass, that's a good start. Look from the right side, but the Triton block takes the bite out of it. Back and forth we go. Out of the back row, hammered home to finish off set 2. Great closing stretch from Kandev. And Long Beach State wins a long second set, 29-27. 1 set apiece as we go to the third on ESPN+. Chip, NCAA tournament resumes.
Yeah, absolutely. But interested to see Long Beach hitting a little bit better. See what type of team comes out here for this set. They are obviously can go the distance. They've played 5 sets. They're defending national champions. Interested to see how they clean up their game in this 3rd set.
Tritons in the white, Beach in the black. Here we go in set 3. And that's a Triton point on a misfire by the middle Ben Braun. Did not have an attacking error in 8 sets. 2 wins over CSUN last week. Beach looking for the answer. They go back to him. Tritons get the up from Provednikov. Trying to put it away after the joust. Stays with Long Beach State. And this one up by Cook. Wants how to come on after keeping that thing alive. Diving effort from the Beach. Long rally for point 2 of the 3rd set, and it goes to Long Beach State on a Varga kill.
Interesting rally there. Somebody wasn't happy about something at some point, but I missed it.
I wonder if the antenna came into play on some of the near side action that we saw. A lot potentially that could be looked at with number of tight ones at the net and jousts.
Yeah.
And it looks like UC San Diego wants to go ahead and take another look.
Yeah, there was one ball that John Lures didn't go for, which you know there's something wrong when something happens there, that I think he thought there was a net violation, so he didn't go. So, not sure. Hopefully someone can figure it out so we can talk about it.
Well, let's talk about John Lures while we wait to see some replays. He came over as the number 2 for UC San Diego behind Cameron Worrell. Was not promised anything coming over from Lincoln Memorial, has earned the starting spot. And specifically, we've seen him a couple times tonight. He blocks
Yes.
Much bigger than his 6'2" frame.
He is not a blocking liability whatsoever. I mean, there is plenty of, okay, now we can look. Let's see, so a joust, and it looks like the antenna is touched. A lot of jousts. Guys, clean it up. This is messy.
Pushed off of Sani. Something got a piece of the antenna there.
Something did, but John Luers, excellent blocker for someone his size. I think people have just learned, like, don't try to hit over him because he's going to block you. I think Skylar Varga figured that out in the first set.
You shared what Nick McCray told you about Varga, and that's exactly what Brad Rostratter says about John Luers. Just impressive individual, stud human. Coach talks about Luers. Great leader for this group. Said to call him a hard worker doesn't really justify it. He's the hardest worker I've seen. And the wheels are always spinning for Luers, trying to figure out what's going on in the game, what's best for the group, and thinking at a different level that's really helped open up some things in the Triton offense. He gives them a different dynamic, and that was something they needed after what they saw early season.
Yeah, no, I think he has stepped into the role, and there's no turning back. He absolutely feeds this team.
So a longer look at this one. Even that shot that we showed you right from on top of the net was hard to tell exactly what may have touched that antenna first. So for the Tritons so far, facing a good stretch of competition as we talked about in conference, and working on a 1-4 mark in their last 5 coming in. So the outcome will stand as Patsy Malta explains it to Brad Rostratter.
Okay.
So 1 apiece. One of the best serves of the night in for an ace.
And I expect to see a couple more of those from Skylar Varga, the ace king of his team.
Get the feeling like he's just starting to heat up in this match. Ewert dances on top of the tape. And that's a point for UC San Diego.
Lots of antenna action tonight. Let's see, nice swing by Ewert, who hits the ball off of the block. And I think it hit the antenna off the block again,
Ended up hitting both blockers. It got the right hand of Kandev. Patsy Malta had just given the double thumbs up, so it looks like we're going to replay this point.
Okay. Let's see, the ball never lies if, or does it?
Depends on whatever outcome you're looking for.
Yeah.
That's always how that
right.
goes. So 2-1 Long Beach. Sani off the block, makes it 2 apiece.
Nice swing by Sani off the block on that one, getting him out of that.
Service by Jim Garrison. Sani peels off the cover. That's a point for UC San Diego on a double. Falling away, navigating the antenna, which comes into play one more time.
Yeah. Nobody wants to play in the middle of the court.
3-2 Tritons, and Garrison takes far too much off of that. He'll check out as we go 3 apiece.
Yeah, not a great toss on that one either.
Brings Evan Boyle back in, and as you said earlier, hey, it's part of the game.
Yep,
Ace
part of the game.
14 errors here for the Tritons, 4 aces, 11 errors for Long Beach State. Ben Braun serves it up wide. Side out for UC San Diego, 4-3 here in the third set. Tritons 18-12 last season, 3-7 in conference. Finishing a three-way tie for 4th out of 6. Got by UC Santa Barbara in the quarters and lost to this side in the semis. Provednikov setting Sani, another joust. Beach going for a quick poke over. Good save by Keegan Cook. Off the free ball. Beach ready to cash in.
Herchinovich once again terminal on the right, finding the floor.
Only student athlete in double figures. He's got 13 kills tonight.
Still no errors either, right? Yeah. Jeez.
Still without an error. You're looking at 13 kills. That's the second most for him in a match this season already. He had 15 in a win at Pepperdine back on January 30th. He's answered the call tonight. One-handed set by Lewis, one-handed save by Lewis. Two-handed effort by Sani, rejected by the Beach.
I don't like that play.
The look that time from Sani?
No, I don't like that play. I know you do it as a bailout, but it's not a weapon.
That is a weapon.
That's a weapon.
Peter Selcho.
Yes, and that is where the Tritons are going to be successful, is moving the ball around. Long Beach State has some big, tall, slow-ish middles, so they got to beat them. And that's a good way to do it.
Hammer of a serve. And
You all right over there, David?
for a moment there, had knocked into, how's it going? Our audio mixer.
Oh, yeah. I've learned to get out of the way.
And that serve goes wide. Yeah, it all went dark there for a moment. I've got nothing in the headset, but I'm told we're still good, so we're rolling with it here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
See if we can do some emergency troubleshooting. There we go. Back row look for Sani. Man, he stuck it right on Hershtinovich.
Ouch. I heard that. He's going to have a molten tattoo on his chesticle or something. I don't know. Ouch. Sani feels good about that one.
Get over that kind of swing against your former club. Now Sani hustling on the other end, and the Tritons stay in the point. Off the block and out.
What a hustle by Sani and Selcho on that play. Literally running into a different zip code to get that ball back over the net.
Sani smooth on the slide too. He looked good doing
Yeah, he did. Style points.
7-7. Late switch up that time from Sani with her. That set came in. It's a point for the Beach.
And Sani, I believe, knee is bleeding. I can see it.
Oh yeah, he's got the pad on over it.
Yeah.
It looked like a little bit of a spot earlier, and now it's pretty visible. Under the left knee pad, he takes the brunt of a monster serve. And they'll just set it over, and that will work from Leo Provednikov.
And that's when you use a two-handed attempt there, not when you're given a set. Just throw them off a little bit. Ugh. Beautiful volleyball, ugly volleyball. All in the same play.
Strong serve, Ewert. Garrison out-battled at the net by Doty.
That's a great one-handed block by Doty on that one. Right place, right time. Yikes.
Something special from Doty with a big opportunity for this group tonight. Got into action on Saturday to the tune of 18 assists for Long Beach State. In the spot of Jake Pazanti. And Provednikov continues to light it up. He's up to 10 kills, 500 hitting, no errors.
Yes, he is a man on a mission tonight, playing extremely efficient volleyball.
This has been an entertaining match, but within the context of that, a wildly entertaining start to this third set through 18 points. That one is put away. A couple guys going up, and it's Hershkinovich for his 15th kill to match his season high.
He is just unstoppable. Right, left, anywhere you set him right now.
Collected a career high 20 kills last season. Matchup against a good program in Lewis on the road. Tritons for Ewert, and his turn for some showtime.
Ewert just skying and hammering. You know, he's really coming into his own on that right side there, being more patient with that set and doing a great job executing.
Off a Garrison serve, that one cuts the angle and lands in.
And that's now career high for Hershkinovich?
Season high 16.
Season high.
At this rate, I would be surprised if he didn't end up with 21 to break that career high. Braden Marquardt into action here. Anaheim Hills product, former Grand Canyon Antelope. Another big swing from Ewert. A couple rows up into the seats. Back and forth we go at 11 apiece. Shoots it right into 6'10" Jackson Chris, trying to close that block. (11-11). And there's Chris with the response. 12-11 Long Beach State.
And a great set by Doty on that one-handed set, just feeds into Chris. He's able to put that one away with authority.
Feel free to be creative when you're in system.
Yes.
That's what McCray had said to Doty. And it's an ace, but staying down afterward here is Hershkinovich. He's able to get back up to his feet quickly. Again, team with two guys already on the shelf in Pazanti and Wojciech Gajek, who Kirsten talked about earlier, coming up a little gingerly. For UC San Diego, we did see Josh Ewert have some trouble with the ankle on Saturday, but was told before the match he was good to go. Not much in the way of a lingering issue there. There's Peter Selcho rejoining the party.
And can we talk about the passing of Evan Boyle, though, tonight? I don't think we could say enough good things. He is really, really doing a great job back there and neutralizing the serving of Long Beach State.
Triton's happy to have him back after a back injury. This is his third season as primary libero. Missed last year. He's the #1 in the alternate jersey in 24 and 23. Big West all-freshman team performer. And got to be teammates with his older brother, Andrew, who's set for the Tritons here for a couple years in 23 and 24.
That's right, I remember him.
Into the net, gives it back. 14-13 Beach. One set apiece in the third. Now back here to Aiden Powell. State tournament MVP for a JUCO championship. got to face his former teammate Trevor Clark against UC Irvine. Powell gets his serve in. Kandev first touch. Varga lands it in. Tritons think it was long. I did as well looking at it live. Either way, they'll have a second to decide if they want to challenge this thing. As Long Beach State leads at 15-13 at the media timeout in a tight battle and a big matchup between Hawaii and UC Irvine tonight in Orange County. And it was Hawaii winning a marathon battle that we might be on our way to one of those. 5-setter going to the Rainbow Warriors. Off the block and out. Good use of it by Josh Ewert. And another setup that time from Lewers gets him to 33 assists to go with 6 digs and 2 blocks.
I like that play by Ewert. Off the block and out of bounds.
Varga has it sent back off of him and down for a Triton point. And they continue to have the answers for the All-American.
And that's a great combo right there. Lures and Garrison on that one.
They'll take Hrstinovich out. And remember that he fell to the hardwood after the serve a moment ago. So we'll have to keep an eye on him down the line on the bench. That would be a big loss for this group. Now he's performing tonight.
Oh!
Right into action. Brandon Marquardt unloads.
Jeez. Welcome to the game, Marquardt.
Set him up just outside of the reach of Garrison, and Marquardt, who's played 21 sets on the year coming in. Efficient when he's fed, a .560 hitter for the sophomore out of Anaheim Hills. Provednikov off a touch. Just got a piece of that top of the block. Tritons answer, and we're tied at 16.
And Marquardt, thought he looked familiar. Transfer from Grand Canyon. I know I've seen him before. Good athlete.
He's not qualified for the national rankings, but he does have the best block average on the team at just over 1 a set. Well, that was a stunner when that Grand Canyon program was discontinued. They put together some strong seasons.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking.
And Sani over the block, inside the line. UC San Diego on top.
Sani having some fun on that one. Great set. It's right outside the reach of Varga.
Provednikov's serve handled by Larson. First team All-American in the libero spot. Another good up by the beach. That time from Doty. Lewis tracks it in. Sani again. Great read and save. Hot back over to the Long Beach stateside. Doty back into action here. Tritons after the joust and back with it, and Provednikov goes nuts. 18-16.
Wow, incredible volleyball on both sides of the net. The defense and the heart from the Tritons is unbelievable right now. And Provednikov just putting that one away. I thought even that was a kind of low set, but he was there.
Not much has been easy. And I think the hitting percentages in that second set reflected it, but UC San Diego has gotten back closer to that line in the first set, hitting 429 here in the third. Beach, for their part, right around 227. So 315 for the match for the Tritons, 242 Long Beach State. Most of the stats fairly close to even, and it's really just a matter of what do those closing stretches in these sets look like. And right now it's UC San Diego with the 3-0 run.
And if we're wondering where this momentum came from, my understanding, talking to Coach Jorge before the match, is they were playing their best volleyball against Irvine And they took that momentum and brought it into practice this week. And that's why we are seeing them play at this elevated state right now against the national champions.
Yeah, total difference maker. And there wasn't a question for UC San Diego about them firing on all cylinders and being at the top of their game. It was having some trouble getting out of their own way, just trying to win that side-out battle late. But match it, they were in a good position to try and capture. You want to be playing your best volleyball at this time of year against this part of your schedule, and they're doing it right now, and a much cleaner game today than we saw on Saturday to this point.
Yeah, their passing has been amazing, and that was something that they would 100% have to focus on against such a tough serving team, and they've really been able to run their offense.
And you mentioned talking with Coach Collazo, Brad Rostratter, the first to give him credit for his teaching of passing and defense. He said some of the areas that he's worked with Boyle and Cook and Provednikov and Ewert, some of their serve-receive passers, has been exceptional for this group. And Collazo in his third season on staff. Noah Cotterman, first-year assistant coach, as well for Brad Rostratter in his fourth year, trying to get to win number 50. And if they are able to get the win here, you'd be hard-pressed to call it an upset because the Tritons have had some giant killing wins. They've knocked off the top 5 a handful of times over the last few years.
Absolutely.
Nice answer for the Beach coming out of the timeout, and Connor Bloom.
And that's the thing about the Beach is we saw one iteration of the Beach. There's a lot of weapons on that bench, and they are now in the game. So they might give the Beach a little bit of fire that they need to get back into this set.
Hitting .358 so far this season. And the Tritons and Sonny go right back to work, and a yellow card immediately flashed out for that reaction.
Yeah. Sonny going through the block of Bloom, but a little extra chatter.
And Sonny's saying right now to Daniel Willis, I'm not looking at them at all. I'm just yelling.
Yeah, but good job by Dan Willis. Let's focus on volleyball and not talking trash.
Yeah, and even if you're moving away, if you're facing the other direction or looking at the opponent, it's pretty, the letter of the law is pretty strict on it. This one goes wide from Tyler Stewart. I think officials will try and get into the game. If you don't see something egregious early, let it ride for a little bit. There's been a little bit of that, but as you would expect in this matchup and with Sonny's history with Long Beach State.
Yeah, and you can't let it control a match, and got to keep everyone in line.
A 19-18 UC San Diego. On we go in the third. Tied at one set apiece. On the passing once again, setting up Sonny.
Wow. That went off of Doty's shoulder and into a different atmosphere. I think it went to the moon. I'm not sure.
Ends up landing on the Triton bench. Shoot for the moon. If all else fails, it gets to Jim Garrison.
Yeah.
Beach off the block, back within one. And we may well be set up for another close stretch run for Long Beach State. 4 opportunities to put it away before finally coming through last set.
They have so many weapons on their side that they can bring in at any time.
And tapping into the bench and Bloom. Pass on the money once again. Block well set up for the Beach. They go the other side for Sonny. Larson covers. Back row look. That is in from Bloom.
Wow, what a great swing by Bloom on that. Out of system. Was able to find him. And he absolutely lights up the line on that. Outer edge of the line, too.
Timeout for UC San Diego as we go 20 apiece, and that's been big for this group. Since Hrstinovich checked out, we have not seen him check back into the match. So Bloom has been picking up some of that slack. He had some key kills in set 1 against CSUN in Friday's match for a good closing stretch there. Helped set the tone as they got their way to a 5-set win. A 21st match of the year, so he's played in all of them. Has started 3 for this group, 42 out of 70 sets with 1.2 kills per set. Guy that can show up on either pin for this team. And leaning on him right now, as you see Hrstinovich on the bench trying to roll out the calf.
Yeah, noticed that over there. Probably maybe a little bit of cramping, who knows? Keeping it loose.
Yeah, it would stand to reason. Trying to roll out both calves. Kind of match that'll do that to you with all the extra hustle and all the work that he's been putting in. I mean, 25 swings, 16 kills for a season high on 640 hitting. Not much stopping him when he's been on the floor, so that's been a welcome change of pace for UC San Diego. But Bloom, who's serving out of the timeout, has come off the bench. He's been ready to rock.
Yeah, definitely productive off the bench right away.
20 all out of a UC San Diego timeout. Both teams with 1 timeout remaining in the 3rd set. And now they are taking a look at some of the blood that, Kirsten, you pointed out earlier on this leg sleeve of Sebastiano Sani. He had a pad over it for a little while, then took the pad off. And it looks like they're going to get ready to tend to it here for the Tritons. Liam Higginson, the athletic trainer, getting all the equipment ready to rock here to get some
tape over it.
Top. Yeah.
Put some dirt on it. It's just a little bit of pre-wrap there, so won't restrict him at all. Gotta cover it up.
I like it's poetic in some way. Sani bleeding for the Tritons, taking on his former team.
Right.
Cannot make this stuff up. So they tended to that. And it looks like we're ready to get back to action here. Takes a low 5 from Lures and gets ready for some serve receive work. Bloom staring down Sani, Boyle, and Provednikov. Right to the shoot. Right to Sani. Rolls it over. Up by Bloom. That was off the antenna. But it was the Tritons off the antenna. So it's a Long Beach State point.
Who was in that antenna? Honestly, they both were. But I think Sani was first. Yeah.
It's the second time he's hit the stick tonight. Stretching the boundaries of the court, east and west.
Oh, right?
This time it's the middle, and this time it's a Long Beach State block. 3rd of the set. And a huge stretch here for the Beach. 4-0 run to go up 22-20.
And I think that's Provednikov's first hitting error. Good read by Christ on that one. Knew it was going to Leo.
Chris, 20th in the country, 3rd in the Big West in blocks per set. At just over 1, so some big-time defensive work for Long Beach State. Tritons take their 2nd and final timeout. Beach up to 333 hitting here. And UC San Diego, that's for this 3rd set. Tritons hitting 370 here in the 3rd. But that's a decent size uptick from the 2nd, almost 100 points better. They hit 261 in the 1st. What's going better for the Beach in terms of offensive efficiency here in this third set?
I think that they've made a couple of substitutions. They put Bloom in, they put Murquat in to kind of get a little more offensive production in the middle, save Hrstinovic if they need him later, but just showing that they can reload and a little more deceptive on setting as well. Island Doty has done a good job moving that ball around. So they're able to capitalize a little bit more.
Look at everybody who's taken more than 6 swings for this group tonight. Braun is hitting 100. Kandev 222. Vargas still negative. So if you'd have told me that Hrstinovic would go out of the match and their hitting percentage would go up, I probably wouldn't believe you.
And that's why we're not coaches, because that I wouldn't think that either. But just shows you how deep the Beach bench is, and that it's a chess game out there.
Us as coaches just throwing the towel at that point. What's his line? 16-0-25. Yeah, we're good. No, we're good. The Beach by 2 out of the timeout, and it's Sani who pops it over. Vargas streaking across, setting up Bloom. Lures, can't bring it back. How about the third set from Connor Bloom?
But Lures going for it. Such great hustle. Great swing by Bloom. Yeah, that's a hard table.
Bloom to serve. Provednikov with the dig. Ewert into the block, and Long Beach State on a 6-0 run and on set point.
I think we're also seeing some great moves by the Long Beach State block, being disciplined on that block and really focusing in on where those tendencies are.
4 blocks here in the third. That was their total in sets 1 and 2. Hard serve off the tape. Tritons need a kill it, and they get one from Selcho.
Selcho's got such a nice fast arm. Great job by him getting up and available, throwing off that Long Beach block.
Passing continues to be great on the serve-receive side from Boyle. He'll take his seat, give way to Cook, and Sani into the net. Set 3 to Long Beach State. First one not decided by 2 points. It's 25-21, and the Beach with a 2-1 lead on ESPN+.
Will eat you alive, and I think we're seeing why there was a little bit of separation in that set. Long Beach State just took advantage of it.
Daniil Hrstinovic is still on the bench for Long Beach State as we start set number 4. Track this one down. Doty with the bump. Somebody's got to get it. Varga rescues it late. Ewert off the block and right into the courtside seats. That's a Triton kill to start the 4th.
Nice swing by Ewert on that one. He's able to use the block. High hands. Kellen Larson can't chase it down.
And to hit right into that thing from the right side. Now Peter Selcho wide with the serve. You had talked about the errors. It was something it felt like was going well for UC San Diego, playing clean volleyball in those first 2 sets. Got away in the third, and especially got away late.
Yeah, definitely late. Just enough that they couldn't get back, and Long Beach State finished that set.
Ended up capping the set on a 7-1 close. That's off the antenna before Kandev could get to it. A point for UC San Diego.
That ball is out. I don't think the antennas have ever gotten this much action before. Still moving, just a little bit.
Every dog has its day. This is the day of the antenna.
Really maximizing the use of the court tonight, every inch.
2-1 Tritons. Provednikov rejected, and there's the beach block. They got it going in the third, and they roll it into the fourth.
Yep, and that is just a well-formed block by Bloom and Christ on that. Really reached in and grabbed Leo's ankle.
So makes it 2 apiece. That's 10 blocks now for the beach. 4 across the first 2 sets, 5 in the third. So the subs and the block, big difference makers to get a 4-point win in set 3. Bloom into serve. He worked down the line, control on that shot up by Larson. That one's pulled wide. Point for UC San Diego on a Kandev misfire.
So the one thing about Long Beach State is I feel like they don't do strings of errors. They do have one error and then they bounce right back.
Touche.
Yeah, they pass so tight too. So great athleticism from Doty. A one-handed set is not a non-regular thing. That is part of their plays.
36 assists for Doty tonight.
Oh.
And the block there once again. Christ, the big man in the middle, coming back to the huddle with a stank face.
He is now letting Jim Garrison go. Doesn't jump early. Knows it's going to Provednikov. Great timing at the net.
That's about the execution and about the read. And there's another foot fault. But I like what we saw from Christ. Comes right back in the huddle. He said, hey, it's all good. Wheels the finger around, says, let's go, let's stick in it. Part of that mentality with what you were talking about. They respond quickly from errors. Don't stay stuck in the mud. Nice up by UC San Diego and Garrison. And then we'll be able to make something of this.
I think that set was for me over there. Couldn't really get that one back into the court. I was going to say Josh Ewart is a contortionist if he can hit that one back in. But great dig by Jim Garrison.
Well-rounded skill set for the Triton middle. High for Beach. Lures rescues it with one hand, but that's 4 hits. Top serving team in the country. Scoring a point off the serve here, make it 6-4. Another tough serve. Lures back to the line, and Sani gets the kill for the Tritons. And pace in the squad with 14.
Yeah, Sani really crunching that ball angle right there. Good fast high set to him.
Power and placement from Sani. 6-5 Beach. Up 2 sets to 1 in the fourth. And got an immediate answer that time. And there is Braden Marquardt.
Very athletic and agile middle. Able to move around quite a bit.
Second kill from Marquardt makes it 7-5. Overpass, put away by Varga.
Yeah, Evan Boyle got a good piece of it. Just not enough.
Momentum with the Beach here. This is a 4-1 stretch. They were behind 3-2. They won 6 out of 8 points since. Island Doty. Good serve, Ewart makes something out of it. Exceptional setup out of system.
Yeah, nice set by Evan Boyle on that, and great patience by Ewart, being able to get on top of that ball, get a kill.
Starts the slow clap for the Tritons. Actually, Provednikov with that long bump set on the last point. Bloom off the block and out for a Long Beach State point. Group that came in 5th in hitting percentage in the country, 18th in kills and assists per set. Score a lot of points off the serve and off the block.
And Bloom with already 4 kills, no hitting errors.
And now Sebastiano Sani getting his left leg stretched out for UC San Diego.
He might have a cramp too.
Again, it's been a
calf
high
cramps
work
are the
rate
worst
type of match. Michael Robertson, his teammate, starting the effort to help stretch out Seba. It's scary when they start because they just linger. And you might feel okay for a minute, and then you put certain kind of pressure on it. And this tightens up. It's a whale of a thing to try and play through. A little bit of a break in between serves, and that welcome for the Tritons. They'll side out down 2 in the 4th. Must-win set for UC San Diego, trying to force a 5th. Island Doty, really nicely done. Kandev going up in the air, and Marquardt puts it away.
And that's what they do so well. Look at that. Marquardt draws the block, and Kandev just hammers away.
Yeah, not quite as much space as we saw in that one earlier, also on this side of the net. And some well-executed offense by the Beach. Take away the Triton block and set him up for a layup. He worked hard off the hands of a couple Beach blockers. That one pushed off the Triton block and down by Kandev.
Kandev with a smart play there, tight set. Able to throw it down.
And UC San Diego will take time as Long Beach State feeling it here in set 4, up 2 sets to 1, up 11-7 in the 4th in La Jolla. And the Tritons right now fighting to stay alive in this match, down 2 sets to 1, down 11-7, coming out of a timeout in the 4th. Kirsten, what would you have said leading the charge in that huddle?
Remember that momentum from the first set. I think that the Tritons are committing some more errors. They're hitting like 321. They're getting blocked. They're not going to win those points on those high balls against that huge Jackson Christ, not his dad, block. So they've got to figure out a way to speed up their offense.
Big time lefty serve from Ryan Peluso, who's in for some of his first action and overcommits here, goes out for a UC San Diego point. So good spell for Peluso. Opposite and a setter for this group in his junior season out of Orlando and Winter Park High School.
Florida.
Beach up 4. Tritons looking for some momentum. That one's set over by Kandev. Island Doty sets his man up. That's Kandev again. Beach off to a 5:45 hitting start in this set. 7 kills on 11 swings with just 1 error, and the Tritons hitting negative. Here's Connor Bloom, one of the ones who helped them turn the tide.
They've got Whirl and Luke Chandler in. Change it up a little bit.
Triton's looking for something to try and spark the offense. So it's Whirl, the San Diegan in his redshirt junior season. He's worked behind a couple really good setters in Bryce Dvorak and Gabe Dyer the last few seasons. Starter coming into the year. Lures has since won the job, but the Tritons need a shakeup right now. That one is into the net from Alex Kanda. And then you've got Chandler on the other side, who initially didn't have a big role to start the season, but broke out for the Tritons, stuck in the starting lineup for a while. So Whirl and Chandler into it here in the fourth. Quick answer for the Beach, and there it is again. You make an error on one play, you come right back and answer on the next play, something this group does very well.
They have such excellent fundamentals that it is very easy for them to make adjustments on the fly. Go back to know what they know how to do.
Everybody getting a look. Here's Dane Hillis, San Clemente product. In between La Jolla and Long Beach. And Garrison terminates the side out for the Tritons.
Great kill by Garrison there, and a nice set by Cameron Whirl. Moving that ball around quick. That's how you beat the Long Beach block.
Tritons get Kanda back in. Garrison off of his 5th kill. Serves for UC San Diego. At that one at the peak, that off the top of the block by Varga.
Hitting over the block on that one, over the top.
So with Hrstinovich nursing something over there on the bench, it's been Kandev with 11 kills. Next most for Long Beach State tonight. Whirl saves it. Selcho has the swing. Beach block keeping it tight to the net. Mixing some things up, and that'll work. More creativity from the Long Beach State offense.
Yeah, they see opportunities, and they definitely do a good job taking advantage of it.
UC San Diego is issuing a challenge here.
Okay.
So Tritons want to have another look at that point, perhaps something earlier in the rally, so production crew will dig in and get to work. I'll tell you what, for this Long Beach State team, 3rd-ranked squad in the country. Let's check it out here. See if we spot anything in this sequence.
Yeah,
didn't really spot much.
Nope, sure didn't, unless maybe a net somewhere. I don't know.
You always think net. We've seen a couple guys step on the 10-foot line so far tonight, so that's always a candidate as well.
Yeah.
You can see clearly behind it on the takeoff before the attempted set. I'd say for the Beach tonight, down their starting setter. Hrstinovich has been turning in a great match. He exits injured, still hasn't come back in. Varga, one of the top hitters in the country, is on an 8-6-31 line. You stack all of that up. They've stuck in the battle after losing the opening set. They win 2 and 3. Let's check this thing out one more time. It's Whirl falling away. Anybody into the net here? Maybe on the forearm, but
maybe,
not much.
and maybe on the elbow on the way down.
Yeah.
That's pretty minuscule nets. Those don't count.
They talk about what makes a champion, what makes a team go when you're dealing with a couple levels of adversity here. This has been impressive what the Beach has strung together tonight.
Yeah, no, they are. That's the reason why they're a national championship team. Let's see what happens. Net. Oh.
So net violation goes mark Marquardt there.
I think it was his elbow on the way down is what I thought I saw.
Yeah, saw it too. Just wondered if it constituted enough to say that was clearly contact. So it's a successful challenge for UC San Diego, and it comes at a good time.
Yeah. Tritons need to take advantage of this.
Get back within 3, trying to get the momentum back. There's Luke Chandler. First kill on his first swing, and it's a 2-point set.
And I love seeing that. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get him going, but what a set by Cameron Worrell, right in his lefty sweet spot, so he's able to hit that nice angle.
It was starting for the Tritons as recently as the first UC Irvine match. He hit negative on 14 swings. They made a mid-match switch up to go to Ewart, and then stuck with him. And the second one stuck with him again tonight, and now back to Chandler. And Skylar Varga uses a block for a kill.
I feel like Long Beach has made some nice adjustments, hitting, really teeing off on the Triton block.
One difference in the flow of the match as we've settled into the 4th set. Remember all those long rallies?
Yeah.
Not so much anymore.
No.
Worrell quick for Selcho.
Worrell doing a nice job right away, getting some nice hittable sets to his hitters.
We go back to the Lewis match on January 30th. That's when Lewis took over, setting in the 2nd set with the Tritons down 1-0. They pull off the reverse sweep there, which still stands as best win of the season for this group, and Lewis has been the primary setter since. But you like having the depth and the option to go to Worrell when you need it.
Oh, that was a foot fault.
Already seen a couple of those.
Yep.
Into the tape, so either way.
Big opportunity for the Tritons here to get back into this set.
Get a look at Lures, still active, still engaged in the match for UC San Diego. Little reach back, an overshot, and a touch. So a kill for Bloom. Beach moving on from a couple All-Americans. Nikolov, who we talked about extensively, De'Aris McRaven as well from last year's group. Stretch that time from Evan Boyle. This one off the block, and Boyle back into action. Provednikov cuts the line, can't get it to go.
It's a good look by Provednikov on that. He was open. Just a little bit too much on that angle.
Tritons use their 2nd timeout as you take a look at, well, on the score line, and then what these statistics will show, the most definitive set of the match to this point.
Yep, yeah, and Long Beach State is owning this set. Definitely more efficient hitting and owning the net blocking-wise as well. And UCSD is trying to get something going with their serve, but 4 service errors just gives Long Beach more points.
Talking out the situation there with Alex Kandev. For these two teams, again, they'll be right back at it tomorrow. It's going to be interesting to see what personnel looks like for that match. A lot of question marks going into it, and you know pretty early on how things end up looking. But then past that, Long Beach State facing UC Santa Barbara next weekend, home against the Gauchos on Friday and away on Saturday. And the Tritons getting set to face Hawaii for a couple of matches here in La Jolla, Friday and Saturday. All that action at 7 o'clock, and you can catch every one of those matches right here on ESPN+. Down the stretch of Big West play here at the home of the Tritons, UC San Diego. This has been, at least of all the matches that we've done together this year, one of the better attended ones, and we've seen, what, more than a handful of plays that have been eye poppers tonight.
Oh, yeah. it's always a good show.
A couple of Tritons collide on the serve receive. Chandler puts it into the net. Some of the action we're seeing, it's the kind of stuff that if you are newer to the sport or you haven't seen a lot of it, plays that'll make you come back.
Yes,
give
absolutely.
you some more of that.
Volleyball is a beautiful sport. People should be watching it everywhere.
So Braden Marquardt serving here. 20-15 lead for the Beach. In a good spot to try and close this thing out. Carried over that momentum from that strong close to the third set in a match that for a long time was back and forth. They were able to build up an early 3-point lead, which isn't a ton at face value here in the fourth. But considering how most of this match has been played, a good start. Stretch the lead out to 5, and they've been up at least 2 since then. And Jim Garrison has an answer for UC San Diego.
He sure does. Great angle cutback hit by Jim Garrison. The big block in his face, too.
6 kill for Garrison, 3 Tritons seeing 10 plus, with Sani leading the way with 14. Service from Whirl goes long, 21-17, Long Beach State. Beach with the win tonight would make it 8 in a row in this matchup. Bloom's serve finds Provednikov. Whirl sets him, and he's got a kill. Tritons sticking around, back within 3 here. Powell will take a seat, Sani back into action, and Provednikov back to serve.
A nice swing of by Provednikov on that.
Serve just clears it, some good dipping action here. Doty setting, swing goes long, and it's a point for UC San Diego. There was at least one reaction saying touch. Beach contemplating a challenge, and they'll go ahead and ask for one. Now you're late here in set 4, and this is a group that, by my count, still has 2 to work with, so you get an additional one if you go to the 5th, provided that doesn't put you up to 4. Well, if it's close, good time to use it.
Yep, ice the server a little bit. I didn't see any fingers move.
Yeah, you're looking for a finger bend, all kind of in that same motion. So by that first look, my guess would be no touch.
No touch.
Stands as is. Marquardt taking a good look at things here.
That's did Luke Chandler touch it? I don't think so.
Bunched together as close as you could possibly be. Those 3 Tritons going up for the block. Nothing else with UC San Diego getting some momentum back. Serves as a timeout effectively, and then you still save 2. So you got more options if you want to try and break things up. As the Beach had built a 20-15 lead, Tritons have won 4 of the last 5 points. A service error by Marquardt, Garrison, and Provednikov with kills on either side of the Whirl service error. And then that time a misfire by Kandev. That's some big time stat lines all around. Doty, 45 assists tonight. Lures on the other end with 42. Backside look that time. Is there an immediate change of direction there? Not seeing one.
I don't see one.
So our best guess is this thing will stand. Nothing doing.
Nope, no touch.
So point for UC San Diego. And they're back within 2 here. They've been behind the 8 ball for a good chunk of set 4. Prevednikov takes some off the serve. And the Beach right out of the challenge. Another Kandev kill.
So many weapons the Beach has. They can just throw it to whoever they need to at any given time.
Strong depth. Has him in a strong position late. Great work from Boyle, but the block sends it back. It's Christ, and it's Doty.
It is. That was a huge block. I think there might be a dent in the floor now. Just really unloading on that one. Wanted to go angle, and Christ is just all over it.
Smothered that thing. He had it roofed. So now Daniel Willis is having a word with Skylar Varga. Beach in the clear to serve. It's Kandev. Can do for an ace. Match point, Long Beach State.
What a serve by Kandev. Talk about coming up big in big moments. He certainly has done that. 12 kills for him, and that's 3 aces.
Goes back to that spot, and the Tritons stay alive for one more point. Back to Jim Garrison.
Nice job by Garrison, rising to the occasion on that one.
And Garrison airmails the serve, and Long Beach State, after dropping the first set, wins the next 3 and wins the match 3-1. Beach going to 17-4 on the season. Over 500 in Big West play at 3-2, 6-1 away from home. And UC San Diego now 11-10, 2-4 in conference, and 7-4 here in Lion Tree Arena. We're going to send this thing off to a break. We'll come back, interview with Brad Rostratter here on ESPN+.